every day, what drives us to get out of bed and execute the multitude of actions that we take in a given day in 24 hours? Is it the skills and knowledge that we have? Is it the goals? Or is it the motivation? Is it the discipline? Or is it out of force of habit? To tell you the truth, all of that actually, and perhaps a little more. But as we know, we start off by acquiring the skills of knowledge across all the 8 pillars of life, and we then identify the attributes that we need to develop in ourselves across all those 8 pillars. And once those attributes are identified, we set goals, both mindset goals and action goals, and we plan to execute these goals in a routine manner until they become our habits and form a part of our character. Now, before we execute our goals daily in a routine manner until habits are formed, there are 2 other things that are needed, right? They are motivation and discipline. On a day-to-day basis, we need to have the motivation to act on that identified behavior over and over again, repeatedly, without ever giving up. So it is important at this stage for us to identify what is motivation. So what is motivation? Motivation essentially is the need, the desire that drives action. Beyond that, motivation is your thought, your feeling, and whatever that's going on inside your body biologically, and also the social phenomenon that is happening around you. All of those are motivation, right? So let's look at the word desire and need. In a number of previous videos, we have looked at human needs using Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Remember the pyramid? We start with physiological needs, safety needs, a sense of belonging, esteem, and finally self-actualization. So all of these needs are what drive our behavior. In other words, that motivates our behavior in the form of thoughts, feelings, what's going on inside us biologically and also socially, right, in our interaction with others. I hope that is clear. We will look at an example and discuss it to make this idea crystal clear. Okay, right. So going back to the example of physical health, because as I had told you, in the next few months we will discuss all of this theoretical framework that I'm presenting to you using physical health pillar as an example, right? Because then it is more easily understood, and once you've understood and able to apply all of this in that one pillar, there's no limiting you to reapply it in all the other 8 pillars. All right, so let's talk about walking. We are now trying to develop the habit of walking 5 times a week for at least 45 minutes to an hour. Yes, that is the target goal. One of the target goals that we have to build up the physical health pillar. So what is it that motivates this? Motivation can be in the form of avoidance of pain or reward, right? So how can you then make sure that you get up every morning and actually take that walk? Put on your sports attire and wear your shoes and go out and walk. How do you do that? Okay, one way you can do that is by acquiring all the knowledge about the benefits of walking. Okay, so knowing that walking has so many benefits, as we had covered in an earlier video, could be a motivator. And further beyond, this is the thought motivator, thought as a motivation. And there is also the feeling, but this feeling you will not experience until you have actually executed walking for some time. But apart from that, actually succeeding at making walking habit, you can use your feeling as a motivator by thinking about how good you will look and how energetic you will be. You can engage your feeling, by imagining the outcomes, how happy you will be. And when you think of the clothes that you've always wanted to wear, perhaps you have a gold dress hanging in your cupboard, or a gold shirt, or a gold pants, whatever it is, hanging in your wardrobe. Just engage in that feeling. Okay, so that is the thought and the feeling. And apart from that, socially, a social motivator can be to do it together with a group of people. All right, and finally, we talked about thought, we talked about feeling, we talked about social, and we talked about biology. Okay, biologically, you know, there are so many changes that can happen to your body when you walk. Okay, so this is one way of motivating yourself, reminding yourself of all the benefits. Now, if that is not enough, sometimes rewarding yourself after you have completed this action also works as a motivator. So you can build in a reward for yourself. Okay, and then there is the opposite of rewarding, that is the punishment or the deterrent. In the event that you don't execute that action, can also be a motivator. How? You can remind yourself of the eventuality of not walking, which is you could fall sick, you could contract infectious diseases because of a reduced immune system. You could develop lifestyle diseases. You can put on weight and not be able to look good. Yeah, so that is the flip side of using rewards, using undesirable outcomes as a deterrent to avoid or to compel you to walk and not choose the opposite of walking, which is perhaps sleeping in or enjoying a cup of tea without actually going out for that walk. Okay, that's one way. But in my own experience, what really works is to go all the way up to the highest of the hierarchy, which is the self-actualization need. Okay, if you link this behavior of exercising or walking or moving to a self-actualization need, you will find it easier to do. This is what happened to me. I reminded myself that what I am doing in the form of exercising or maintaining my health is meaningful and it is making a difference in the life of those people who are very dear to me, my family, my children, my husband, because me being healthy means that I can be around and I can be and I can do more for them, and I am of more value, and I also extend this self-actualization need to include my students. So if I'm healthy, I can teach more students and more students will benefit from what I believe is very high quality teaching. So I hope this video clarified the meaning of motivation and motivates you to use motivation to develop the much needed habit of exercising or walking as a part of you achieving a great physical health status. If you like this video, click like and subscribe, and I will be releasing a new video every week.